Man bought an antique table. However, when cleaning up the hygiene, accidentally found a secret compartment. He gently pressed it. Jamie carefully opened the secret compartment. From inside took out a pile of letters. When he opened it, found that it is more than 100 years ago diary. But what he didn't know was, more than 100 years ago, at the same time, a woman opened a drawer to find that the diary in her secret compartment was missing. On the other hand, Jamie was reading the woman's diary. The woman's writing is very good. She writes about her love and her desire for it. But unfortunately, her father wants to marry her off to a man she doesn't like. Although Lisa does not want to compromise, but there is nothing she can do about her father's arrangement. Jamie finds she has a lot of compatibility with him in terms of love, and he has become interested in the woman in the letter. Jamie had breakfast with his mother, told his mother about it, and his humorous mother seemed very interested and found some old postage stamps, encouraged her son to try to give a reply to the letter, and also told Jamie there was a post office in the next town that was over 100 years old. To make his mother happy, Jamie wrote a letter to Lisa, hoping that she would follow her heart in love and in life, to be brave and choose the life she wants. Finally, Jamie went to the post office that his mother had told him about, but the place seems to have been abandoned for many years. After finding the mailbox, he stuffed the mail inside. But what he didn't expect was, one day, more than 100 years ago, this letter was miraculously delivered to a woman. When Lisa opened the letter, she was completely baffled.
Who are you?
On the other side, Jamie was watching a ball game. Just then, he heard a noise coming from the table. So he opened the secret compartment and looked. A letter appeared out of nowhere. At this moment, Jamie was a little confused. He didn't know what was going on. He slowly opened the letter.
Sir, I received your astonishing letter today and am amazed by your audacity. Who are you? And how could you know there was something in my secret place to be stolen?
After reading the letter, Jamie felt very unbelievable, and so two people from different times and places through the secret compartment and mailbox began to exchange letters. Jamie introduced Lisa to the prosperity of modern society. Lisa told Jamie she was like a bird in a cage, and the two of them were looking forward to each other's letters every day. One day Jamie found Lisa's house. He found the house where Lisa lived, but the place was already empty. Only a nanny had inherited the house. Just as Jamie was about to leave in disappointment, Lisa from another time was about to go upstairs. Then a magical scene happened. Both of them seemed to feel each other's presence. They also felt each other's touch and physical contact. Man accidentally found a secret compartment. He discovered that he could interact with a woman from over 100 years ago through the secret compartment. In this way, two people in different time and space have a subtle connection, sharing each other's emotions and lives, and they both look forward to each other's letters every day. For a while, the sparks of love also grew stronger in their hearts. In order to see each other's faces, they took pictures of themselves separately. But unfortunately, Jamie's letter was accidentally left on the floor by the maid. On that day, Jamie was participating in a bicycle race, but he accidentally hit a tree branch and flew out and collapsed on the ground. On the other hand, Lisa, who was about to go to the hospital for a gynecological infection, also suddenly shook. She seemed to sense something. The doctor checked. Jamie is not seriously hurt, but the strange thing is that he has been unconscious. And then Lisa, in the hospital, she saw a man in a military uniform. With just one glance, she had a strange feeling for him. The colonel also seemed to have a crush on her, and the colonel didn't leave. He waited for Lisa to come out of the hospital. And so the colonel created a perfect chance encounter, and the two fell in love at first sight, and they quickly started dating. Maybe it was fate. Both of them had a familiar feeling, and Lisa didn't feel sorry for Jamie, because the more she spent time with the colonel, the more she felt closer to Jamie. But the good times are always too short. The colonel had received orders. He was about to go to the front to fight in the war. Before leaving, they met in the park. At this moment, both eyes full of love. Then they kissed each other without any fear. The next day, at the train station, the two said goodbye reluctantly, and the colonel was silent. When the war is over, he will come back and marry her. Meanwhile, Jamie also came out of his coma. When he got home, he opened the secret compartment first, and it was filled with Lisa's letters. Lisa told Jamie how she and the colonel had fallen in love, and Jamie didn't feel any jealousy. Instead, he wished Lisa well. However, when he found out that the colonel was going to fight in the Civil War, Jamie rushed to the internet to look up information and soon found the list of deaths from the battle online, and the colonel's name happened to be on it. After looking at the date of the letter, Jamie immediately wrote a letter to Lisa and asked her to stop the tragedy. But when Jamie arrived at the post office, there was an accidental fire at the post office. It seems he was destined not to be able to stop the disaster. In order to mail a letter, the man risked his life, braving the flames, to send a letter to a woman from over 100 years ago. And on the other hand, Lisa received a letter from Jamie when she returned home. After learning of the colonel's imminent death, she ignored her father's advice. She drove the carriage to the station, even though the conductor tried to discourage her, saying that the front line was dangerous. Lisa's determination to save her lover did not change. After some twists and turns, the journey continued for another night. Lisa finally arrived at the front. The colonel was shot in the chest during the battle, and as he fell to the ground, Lisa's name kept coming out of his mouth. By the time Lisa found the colonel was dying, holding his breath, with Lisa by his side. The colonel was in her arms. The colonel had finished his last journey. At the same time, Jamie also suddenly woke up. It was as if he had lived and died. In the following days, Lisa kept writing to Jamie, but the post office was destroyed in the fire. He could no longer write to Lisa. Until this day, the maid found the belated letter under the table, and Lisa, who had not received a reply for a long time, and finally showed a little smile. But what she didn't expect was, the picture of Jamie was exactly the same as the principal's. Then Jamie received another letter from Lisa, and the photos in it also shocked Jamie. The next day Jamie went to Lisa's old house again. He seemed to sense Lisa's presence in the room, and the Lisa in the parallel world also seemed to sense Jamie's arrival. The maid took out the relics she just found in the attic. From the notes in the letter, Lisa later became a teacher and found that her surname had never changed, which means that Lisa did not marry until her old age. And then, Jamie found a picture of him among her belongings.
That's you! How'd you get in there?
Try to explain it. I'm never gonna believe it.
Finally, Jamie came to Lisa's grave, gently stroking the headstone. But just as he was placing the flowers, he found a line at the bottom of the tombstone. But just as Jamie was feeling relieved and sad, a dog suddenly rushed over to him. It can be seen that he likes Jamie very much. But just as Jamie was about to say hello to the dog's owner,
Just really like you. You guys actually jump on. Something wrong?
this is basically the end of the movie. This is a highly rated movie, although the hero and heroine in the time travel never see each other. But the good thing is, the fate of past life and present life let them meet again, make up for the regret brought by the film. I have to say that this is a very perfect ending. Well, that's it for this issue of the movie. If you like it, please like and pay attention to it. We will see you next time.